Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another weekly episode of the Weeb Weekly. My name is NICKCCOMEDY, also known as Nick, also known as the 8th Hokage of the Leaf. I'm joined by Mr. Worldwide, Jose Island Joe, calling in from Orlando. How you doing, my guy?
Yes, sir. Tropical Joe is hitting international waters, but not really international, more like domestic, but lots of family trips happening. But everything will come back to normal. I just wanted to say hello, and I'm super excited for another episode of the great podcast, The Weeb Weekly.
Gotta know it. And I am followed again. I am joined by wearing the UA hoodie because we had a big episode this week, repping Izuku Midoriya, the man who is getting all kinds of developments. We got MIZU calling out of Baltimore. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing fantastic. Can't wait for the discussion.
Yes, and I also cannot wait for the discussion because, I mean, Weeb's listening to this podcast. If you are caught up with MHA, oh my goodness, do we have developments to talk about with MHA? I mean, oh my Lord, All for One is going crazy. One for All is going crazy. Everything is going insane. But before we get there, we didn't cover Bad Batch last week. Unfortunately, we had a little snafu. So we have 2 episodes to cover. And that means we better get started as soon as possible. And I think I have some questions for you guys that I would love to get cleared up, because here's the thing. For those of you who are keeping up with Bad Batch with us, Omega's getting hunted. And we have some theories about why Omega's getting hunted. Okay, I think that she's an amalgam of all the mutations. Jose thinks that she's a clone of Count Dooku, who's supposed to be a Force user, and MIZU is playing Switzerland. He's like, listen, it's too early for me to jump to a side here. But who is chasing them, Jose?
So do you want to start, MIZU, or should I just give them spill the beans early in the pod? So in episode 4, which I believe was called Cornered, so it's Cornered and then Rampage, I think number 5.
Yeah.
Basically, we saw the fact that they had to go to it's not Pandora, it's Pantera or
Pantera.
Yeah, Pantera, a new planet, right? Because they have to do a supply run. And we come to find out that there are bounty hunters that are trying to get to Omega, and it is none other than Fennec Shand. Okay. If you don't know who Fennec Shand is,
I don't.
Well, you might want to do a little step back to maybe a few months ago when you saw The Mandalorian, because Fennec Shand is the bounty hunter that is killed by the by the Han Solo wannabe in episode 3 or 4, that turns around and becomes Boba Fett's friend. So this is when she's young, right? She's a young, an up-and-coming bounty hunter, and she has been tasked by an unknown force, which we do not know up until this point, to basically capture Omega alive and bring her in, right? And so we see Wrecker, we see Hunter, and we see everybody else in the crew try to obviously stop that. We have an amazing chase scene across all of the planet, and we got some valuable information. So Omega is very valuable. That's the thing that we got from episode 4. What were your first impressions, MIZU?
Honestly, it does go back to the question of what makes Omega so special. What makes her important? Why do they have to get her? Why go to the trouble and hire bounty hunters to find her? So I thought that was interesting, and I did like a little Easter egg of using an already established character or giving some background to an established character through the Mandalorian series. I like how Star Wars is trying to connect everything, giving them characters who were not animated but now making them animated, or vice versa. But honestly, that's the only thing I got from it. I mean, there wasn't a lot more to be said for the episode. So, I mean, that's just for me.
Yeah, I mean, so now that Jose has said that, I am remembering the episode of The Mandalorian with her, and she got ventilated. But I thought it was really interesting. The thing for me was, it was really interesting because we've seen now a couple planets how they're dealing with the switch into the Empire, And I thought it was really interesting to see the dichotomy between how it affects a poor planet, which was episode 3-ish, and how it affects a rich planet, episode 4. You know, it's like this new class system now creates like, oh, we have to convert our credits. Who cares? You know, like this like needless red tape and bureaucracy doesn't affect like the affluent, you know? So that I thought was really interesting. I thought there was really cool chase scene in the end there. Fennec Shand was kind of a badass. I also said she kind of looks like the troopers who shoot the Death Star, like the helmet.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking? You know, like the ones
Mm-hmm.
the ones that made sure Princess Leia didn't have a home anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought it was a really interesting episode. I feel like it kind of episode 4, kind of, and episode 5 even more, kind of pushed my theory more towards like I'm feeling more confident about my theory.
Oh, for sure.
Here's the thing: we're especially when it comes to keen senses, like Hunter's mutation. We're seeing Omega get more and more of these keen sense moments. And I don't want to say that the episodes are falling into this kind of very tropey Star Wars like storytelling kind of way, but it seems like it's new planet, fetch quest, kid can't come, kid saves day, all good, new planet.
Exactly.
Am I wrong here?
Yeah, it's echo, but you're basically echoing, and you're correct. Like you're basically echoing a big thought that was thrown around Twitter and a lot of other spaces in the Star Wars community, which is this is becoming the animated version of The Mandalorian. That's basically giving context into all of these new characters that we're like, oh, we can't wait to see who they are, like in terms of like The Mandalorian or maybe future movies. We're giving context into their past and like who they are, like growing up or what they were doing while the transition from Republic to Empire was happening. So I do agree with that. Yeah, you're correct right there.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought it was like, but I did at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe I'm a bad person here, but like, I kind of liked Fennec. She was nice.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, yeah, like she's a bounty hunter, but like also like she understands that she was tasked with getting a child. And I wrote like, I was like, I kind of like this bad guy and catch more flies with honey. I don't know what the end of that saying is. You catch more flies with honey than something. But yeah, I kind of liked her. Like, but like MIZU said, there wasn't. I mean, that's kind of why I feel like we skipped over it last week because there wasn't a ton in terms of what to talk about with episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, but if we're gonna be done with episode 4, I think episode 5 kind of gave us a lot more than episode 4.
Oh yeah, episode 5 was amazing.
Episode 5 was really good, and it was really interesting because do you guys watch the show with your subtitles on?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm watching it. Obviously, it's in English. It's made by Disney, but I'm watching it, and I was like, all right, cool. This is cool. Like I was like watching it. No real need to have subtitles on, but I see that the lizard lady is talking to someone, and I see in Huttese, and I was like, oh, Huttese. I was like, oh, okay. So we got Jabba the Hutt now. What does that mean for us?
There's multiple things, right? So we're finally getting context into what the criminal empire was like when the transition was going from Republic to Empire, right? And it's not exactly Jabba the Hutt that goes into Sid's room, right? It's his right-hand man. I forgot his name, actually. Do you remember what his name is, MIZU?
His name was it Lib, something like that? It was short. It was 3 letters.
Bid Fortuna. I remember that. Yeah. So Bid Fortuna. And for those of you that already saw, we already got a sorry. Yeah. We got a little bit of an insight into what his end was in The Mandalorian, because obviously he survived, right? He survived the transition from Republic to Empire and Empire into First Order. So we know how his story ends, but we're getting a lot more context into what he was doing while the transitioning was happening. So for those of you that saw, Sid is basically an informant that worked for the Jedi and now works for basically whatever
who's not
mercenary.
the Empire. Yeah.
And we got a nice background into one of the most iconic creatures in the Star Wars lore, which is the Rancor.
Yeah. So that was interesting, is because like they're looking for the child, you know, but like, so are Rancors endemic to Jabba the Hutt's planet? Like what's going on there? Is he just like he's like, oh no, I lost my torture, like I lost my torture animal. Like, is that it? Also, is that the Rancor that that Obi-Wan and I'm forgetting who necessarily fights it. Luke fights it. Yeah, is that the Rancor that Luke fought?
So actually, what I've been hearing is that it hasn't actually been confirmed that's actually the same Rancor. Okay. Some people are saying like it hasn't been solely confirmed that that's the same Rancor that Luke killed in the future. But they also confirmed that I guess Jabba the Hutt just uses them because I guess he likes using them for, as you said, like torture or like using them as a way for entertainment for himself.
Yeah.
So then again, I don't know, but they haven't confirmed that that is the same Rancor. No, I'm not gonna lie. If it is the same Rancor, then I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna make me sad. I'm like, damn, this is like, what happened to.
It was so cute. What happened? It was getting along with Wrecker. The Wrecker and him had like a little wrestling match. That was
the big thing.
Speaking of which, with Wrecker, like it just goes to show how strong he is. If he took on granted, it was a like infant, I would say child Rancor, but the fact that he was able to square up with this creature, that's something.
Jose, what are you gonna say?
The big thing is I was gonna echo Mizu's point and to make it known. So the basically what happens is Sid explains that in order for her to give up information, because she's obviously an informant, they have to do a job for her. So they go on a rescue mission. They go on a fetch quest, basically. Like it's a video game fetch quest, right?
Yeah.
And they get to the Rancor. They're able to rescue Muchi. And it's an adolescent Rancor, and that's supposed to be obviously a really dangerous mission. They're going in blind. And once they capture it, like you see a connection between Omega and the Rancor and Hunter and the Rancor. And you're like, okay, is this the same one that Luke is going to like demolish in episode 6? And the thing is, I don't think we know unless we have it in one of the books or one of the expansion novels. I don't know what the exact lifespan of Rancors are, but if you think about it, we still have around 16 or 17 years from episode 3 to episode 4. Okay. So unless they live for like decades and stuff like that, it could be the same Rancor, or it could be a different Rancor. But I think episode 5, and I want to know what you guys think, served a big. I think this was the best episode in terms of lore wise since like the first few.
Yes,
because it expanded a lot on character, story, and future of the episode. So I think the way that it's going, it's gonna be fights against the bounty hunters that we know from episodes 4, 5, and 6. So maybe the ones that tried to get Han Solo and Chewbacca to Jabba the Hutt, maybe hunting Omega for a nefarious purpose, because she might be a clone. She might she's valuable, right? And so we're gonna get a lot of nuggets of story, because obviously Dave Filoni works like that. For characters that we thought we knew, and now we'll learn more about. So how did you guys feel about the episode 5 and how it connects to the overall lore of the series?
Well, I'd honestly say it echoes what you said earlier, where this has become essentially the animated Mandalorian, because it echoes, like, even on an episodic, like, season-wide arc, it echoes the way that Mandalorian builds, like, story structure. The first 4 episodes of The Mandalorian were, like, new planet, fetch quest, oh no, we're in a pinch, now we got a little new piece of information, because obviously, like, The Mandalorian was trying to find other Mandalorians. And so, like, it wasn't until episode 5 that now we're in the midst of, like, we're in the midst of, like, what, like, the story, we're building up the story. We've gotten, like, all the fetch quests done, and now we're actually building towards what is the reasonable conclusion for the season. So I think this is, it was my favorite episode of the season, and I felt like after this episode, cool, now we're ramping up to what will be, like, the logical climax and conclusion of the season. I don't know how many episodes, do we know how many episodes they're planning? Is it 8 like everything else, or because it's animated, is it longer?
I think it's 8 or 10 so far, but the thing is, like, it's been so weird because the first episode was like a full-length movie basically, and now everything else is like 23 episodes. So I'm not really sure, but I think it's going to be around the 8 to 10, or maybe 12, but I think that would be pushing it.
Okay. What do you think, Mizu?
Honestly, I also liked it too, especially on the lore part, because those who, I know for sure Jose has seen it, but you, Nick, you haven't really seen the Clone Wars show.
No, not really, no.
So the part that you might not have noticed is that the group of slavers that they're talking about, the Sigurians, they actually show up in the Clone Wars show, because in one of the episodes, Anakin and Obi-Wan pretend to be slaves. So specifically Anakin, they pretend to be slaves because they were known as a very known slave port planet. There's a whole planet just
dedicated to slave trading. Wow, that's it's a mint planet.
And of course, you know how Anakin is. He does not like slavery.
Nope.
And
or
I'm not gonna say I like that episode because it showed Anakin. Because before in the movies, we didn't really see Anakin's really turn to the dark side in a way, and sometimes it felt abrupt. But in the show, they really fleshed him out. And this is one of the episodes that fleshed him out. We saw his dark side, how much he hated slavery, how much he was saying all kinds of, I could tell, like maybe Star Wars racist stuff he said about Sigurians.
Yeah.
And I like how we see that because the Republic at some point outlawed slavery, and I guess their whole system just diminished. And now since there's an empire and they don't fall under the empire, like, they treat it as a ideal opportunity to bring back that system. Yeah. So I thought that little tidbit was interesting. Of course, the possibility of that Rancor being the same Rancor that Luke kills, and we get to see Jabba, or at least see Jabba the Hutt's men, or at least his right-hand man. I thought that was all interesting.
I'm looking at the Bib Fortuna from the OG movies, and first off, for the prosthetics from the 70s were insane. George Lucas was a madman, and I've heard many stories about how he was an absolute everything had to be perfect.
Yeah,
but they really made him look way less terrible than he looked in the movies. Oh my God, he's terrifying. He is a flesh monster. Anyways, we were talking about Wrecker because we were talking about how strong he was, and he beat the Rancor in a fight. I think my other theory that he's going to die is becoming more prevalent by the week. Yeah, he's getting headaches. And listen, you could go and you could say, well, he's also been knocked out in every single episode. Every single episode, Wrecker has been knocked out. And I was like, this man has a glass chin. Like, maybe he just has CTE and that's why he has headaches. But I think something is wrong with Wrecker's chip. I think it is sending signals. And I think he is a person of indomitable will. That's why he's continued forging on. But I think we're going to see a situation where the chip starts getting to him, and it's gonna have to be Wrecker is either taking everybody out with him, or he's taking himself out.
I agree. Honestly, the feeling of impending doom gets even closer and closer now that we have bounty hunters involved. I'm pretty sure something's gonna have to give. And it could be a scenario where they're fighting bounty hunters, and then the Death Troopers, basically third party, and Crosshair takes one of them out. I think that might be. Yeah. But I honestly think that theory is pretty much it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in terms of clone troopers. I think so. I don't know about what you think, Mizu, because the way that it's pointing so far, it's basically each episode shows one of the troopers being essential to the squad, to the core, because they do something that actually helps. For example, in this one, Echo basically fakes that he's a droid to try to save the squad, and he actually ends up recruiting droids to fix the ship, which is awesome. Amazing, because he felt like Iron Man to me at that point. But I think the closer we get to the finale, the closer we're gonna get to maybe losing one of them, or maybe all of them. You never know, because at least from what I've seen in canonical writing or the video or video games, TV shows, or the movies, we don't see the Bad Batch in the original trilogy, or any of the works post trilogy. So something's gonna have to happen. I don't know if they're gonna Rogue One it. I don't know if they're gonna Rogue One it. And just send them all to the Shadow Realm at the end. But it's painting to be a good series so far. I wouldn't say is as good as the Clone Wars, but it is definitely good lore wise to explain a lot. Yeah, that's very true. But lore wise, I think 70? It's a great addition to the Star Wars universe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Mizu? You think we're gonna lose them?
I still stand by what I said last time. They are all going to possibly die, maybe except for one, because as you said before, that
you think it was Echo that was going to make it. That was who your money was on. Your money was on Echo, right, to make it. I put my money on Hunter.
I don't know. At this point, I really don't know who's going to make it. Okay. I just don't think it's going to be. I think it might be the main guy, the Rambo-looking guy,
Hunter. Yeah,
Hunter. I think he might be the one that will make it.
Would make sense,
but
right?
I don't see the rest of them making it.
No, certainly not Wrecker.
But with that being said, like I said, they're not in any of the Star Wars lore as of right now, unless they do something different. And then plus, here's the thing: they're not going to make all these clones survive in that way. Because think about it, we already got Rex who lived. We got like a whole trio that we knew who lived and who showed up in Rebels. And plus, another thing is knowing how the Clone Wars show was, even though they gave clones personality, gave them stories, gave them sympathetic backgrounds, they still killed them.
They could all get the hands.
I don't trust that them being around. I don't care what the show is going to say. I still think they're going to die. Like, they're going to probably play with our heartstrings. Because that show does. Like, if you watch the actual Clone Wars show, it's actually pretty graphic for a Star Wars show. Yeah. Like, you see people get like slaughtered and tortured and things of that nature. So I think it wouldn't go against them.
Again.
I don't think it won't go against them to end up killing all of them in a go.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like that's what we were honestly missing from this most recent trilogy was like Star Wars has never shied away from killing off characters. You know, like I guess Han Solo was frozen and everyone was like, oh my God, is he dead? You know, but it was like, oh, Leia's going to die. Like Leia's going to get a natural death.
Boba Fett.
Leia comes back. Boba Fett dies. Jango Fett dies. I mean, like everybody's getting disrespected left, right, and forward. And then I feel like in this original or this new trilogy, we weren't seeing, you know, that willingness to cut characters off. So I think that is kind of where that this show is going to probably get back to its roots. I think we might see like I think Hunter and Omega might like do Thanos after the snap and go grow plants on some foreign planet where no one will bother them. You know, I think that is the only situation I can see, because like you're right, we've never seen these guys outside of this event right here. You know.
Yeah, I think it'll be a smooth transition. I think from like canonically wise, I think it's a very smooth transition from like the like Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Bad Batch, and then everything else.
We're covering the Dark Ages.
We're
ages.
So far, I would give the series, I don't know. Let's see. At least with like the first episode blew me away, right? So the first episode was very good. Was very good. I would say
Caleb. Holy shit! Where is Caleb?
Thing. So like, there's the unanswered questions are reeling me in. So I would say around like a 7.9 to an 8.2 so far.
I forgot he existed. That felt like that was going to be the entire point of the show, and it's just
Crosshairs still.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
Wow, I completely forgot about that. Like I've just been so dead focused on Omega.
Yeah.
Do you think they have too many balls in the air right now?
I honestly think so.
You think so?
I think so, because they have 4 different storylines, right? They have Saw Gerrera and like everybody else trying to like, which is still very new, because they haven't covered like Saw that much, but we still have that on, unless he was a cameo. You have that underlying story. You have the troops, like the Bad Batch troop squad with Omega. You have the Death Troopers with Moff Tarkin and everybody else, and then you have the bounty hunters. Like the bounty hunters are now joining the fray. So it's like and a lot of and then you have Caleb. Yeah, it's weird.
They do have a lot. It feels almost Thronesian, but like in way less time. Like they're not like it's Thronesian in where they're trying to approach like as much content as possible. Like they're really trying to flesh out what is this informationless dark period, but we're only 5 episodes in and we already have 5 timelines like that we're trying to worry about, you know, which is a bit weird. I'm probably a little bit lower than you on Bad Batch, probably like a 7.2-ish, but like I'm
around the sevens.
I'm not dropping it by any means. Mizu, if you had to give it a 1 to 10, what would it be? 10 being One Piece, 1 being the 2nd season of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord.
I honestly might give it a 7 for right now. And
we're all in the same place.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, good. We're finally agreeing on something unanimously.
Okay,
I love it.
You know what wasn't a 7 this week was the newest episode of MHA. Okay, you know what wasn't a 7? Well, actually, technically, I could have done another one. It was like, you know who's about to get 7 powers? I think it's 8 actually. Deku, Midoriya. Izuku is that you get it? Deku,
Mhm.
Midoriya, one for all for one. Oh my goodness, what an episode, Mizu. You knew it was coming. I didn't, but lordy, that was incredible. What'd you think? Was it nice? Like, did you think the anime gave it justice from the manga?
Yes, I love how just seeing it animated was fantastic.
Mhm.
And I always wonder what the color of the, for those who don't know or who are just watching just anime wise, that quirk he has is called Black Whip.
Yeah.
And I always wonder what color or what look would they give Black Whip in the
Mhm.
anime compared to the manga. So it was nice to see that they went with a kind of a greenish teal tint
Yeah.
to his
color scheme. You know, it matched his color scheme. It was incredible. So I mean, I didn't see that coming, obviously. Like I thought they were gonna do something with Shinzo, yeah. Shinzo, like bringing him back to his like predecessors. But oh my god. And also wait, before we get into that, we should probably open with how the episode opened. All for One is locked up, guns are on him, and they're already setting it up that he's breaking out. There's no way he stays there. They're like, we can't keep him here much longer. They're talking about how he's got sympathizers out there who are going to come break him out. And here's my thing. Like, who do you staff to keep an eye on the strongest person on earth? I was like, I was looking at the guards and I was like, none of you could stop him. Those guns aren't going to stop him. Like, do you think he's going to get out, Mizu? I mean, you probably know, but like,
I mean, you just have to wait and see.
I can't. That's the thing. I can't ask you these questions.
I love Mizu's face every time he hides something from us. I love it. I love it.
Oh God, the burden of knowledge. But yes, okay, all right. But yes, it was really cool how they built that up. I think we're gonna see, and this is just my theory, and you know if I'm wrong or not, but like I think we're gonna see like All for One and One for All almost becoming one quirk. It's almost like he's like, I hear my brother's voice. You know, like it's like One for All and All for One are joining. There's this like opposite negative attraction, like positive negative, and I am so excited to see. But to get into the battle, so we see that 1A is launching essentially the same, or Midoriya's team is essentially launching the same strategy as Bakugo's team launched, except now instead of Bakugo at the center, it's Deku. You know, I don't think we give enough credit to Monoma. His quirk is insane. Like,
wait, which character?
The copy quirk, Monoma.
Oh yeah,
Monoma. Right? The copy quirk, the guy who hates 1A with all his heart. Like being able to copy 4 quirks simultaneously for 5 minutes. Like he could copy Fire and Ice, like the dark bird from Todoroki, no, not Todoroki, Tokiyami, like One for All, and the creation quirk where you eat, if you eat you get a quirk. Imagine that. Like he could that's almost One for All, or All for One, right?
Pretty much. And I'm happy at the same time upset that he can what's the word, grow his duration of using said power, because back at the sports festival he can only do, was it up to 1 or 2, and he only can do it for a minute. Now he has grown up to 5 and to do it for 5 minutes, and
which is
in
insane.
a fight, a minute alone in a fight is a long ass time.
Yeah,
so he can do it for 5 minutes. That's OP. Not gonna lie.
That's it. Like not a lot of fights in this universe last longer than that. You know, also, could he hypothetically copy All for One?
I mean, he could, but it wouldn't be like I said, only for a short time. But
true. And I guess he probably wouldn't copy all of the quirks that All for One had copied, but then he could probably go and take people's quirks.
Yeah, it will probably be more like whatever quirk Deku is using at the time, you might be able to copy that. So like maybe say if he used Black Whip on him, he probably might be able to use Black Whip. I don't think he'll be able to use all of One for All. And here's another thing that's very interesting that I noticed. So as you can see, Deku is going to meet the predecessors of One for All.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see all their quirks.
7 of them, right? 7 or 8. 8 quirks, right?
I believe there are 8.
Yeah.
And right now, like as of the manga wise, we've seen a good majority of them. We're waiting for right now. We're waiting for one more quirk to be revealed.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
I know what they are, but I'm not gonna say them. But
yeah,
anyway, All Might possessed One for All, but he didn't use any per se of their quirks.
No, because he never met them.
No, he never met them and he never unlocked them. So I guess he just got the basic essence of what One for All was and he used it. So with that being said, and also looking at other people, it looks like even other predecessors, when they got One for All, they weren't able to unlock said other powers.
That's why they said it wasn't time yet, you know? Like it was like, it's now time, you know, whatever that means.
Exactly. So with that being said, I'm not gonna lie, this is just me just talking smack because, you know, everybody and their mother was hyping up Mirio. Mirio deserved it. Mirio deserved it more than Deku and all that stuff. But let's say if he did get it,
he would have 9 quirks if Mirio got it. I guess. I mean, it would be 9 quirks. You know, it would be more than 8.
But I'm not gonna lie, later on there's gonna be a big revelation with it as well. But it just made me think about, like, even if Mirio first of all, he technically was not actually chosen. That's what Night Eye said he did. But All Might himself never said he was going to choose Mirio specifically. He just said he was going to give it to a student at 1A.
Yeah.
But if he did if he did get One for All, would he be able to unlock other predecessors, or would he just be like the other people and just maybe have an enhanced version of his own quirk?
Yeah,
but maybe not able to unlock the other quirks.
That's actually a very interesting, because like, is it a matter of like Deku is the person who made it time, like because Deku received All for One, or no, One for All, that now it's time, or was it literally just it's now September 22nd, you know, blah blah blah, like it's time for this like event to go over? Because like we are seeing All for One, he's saying like my brother is reaching out and all these things, like they're basically hinting towards this massive explosion of power. But like if All Might hadn't given the quirk to Deku and instead had given it to Mirio, would the time ever have came? Do we want the time to come? That's the thing. Like now we got All for One getting all riled up. Like I know for a fact right now Deku isn't beating him in a fight even with Black Whip, but like still, like, yes. So I guess, yes, maybe Deku was the right choice. Maybe All Might made the right choice, but I don't know. I just Mirio's my favorite character in the entire show, so I would have loved for him to get it. But yes, no, it was really cool. It was really cool to see that passing on. There's still 2 shadows in the back when he goes to that predecessor realm, though. And do you think that's one of the? I think one of them is All Might.
So, I mean, this is not really much of a spoiler, but yeah, we do see the essence of All Might, but since he's still alive, he's not really. He's connected, but not connected. As in the point where he's connected, he feels it, but he can't communicate with them like the others can communicate to Deku. Yeah. And we pretty much meet at this point in the manga. We meet all of them. We already met all of them. We know who they are, and we're meeting. I think we all know who they are, but we don't know all their quirks. And I think we're waiting for the last dude, and he hasn't revealed what his quirk is yet. But besides that, we met them all, and we see a, like, what's it called, an aura of All Might, but he's not there.
Well, so All Might was also quirkless prior to getting All for One, so it's not like he's going to be passing anything along. It's not like Deku's going to be passing anything along. So it is very interesting. Do we know what All Might's predecessor's quirk was? The female?
Yes. So her quirk was, I think it's called Float. Basically, she could fly. Okay. Her quirk was that she was able to fly. So, yeah.
That's helpful. That's very helpful. Okay, that is incredible. But yes, besides that, I mean, that's more the overarching thematic things of the episode. But getting to the nitty gritty of the actual episode itself, is Yanagi's, the ghosty girl, is her power just telekinesis?
So yeah, her power is pretty much telekinesis. However, there's like limits to her telekinesis, that she can only lift things to the average human body weight. Hopefully she can grow that into bigger things, because it just kind of suck if that's the cap. Like
she goes from like Vietnamese average body weight to like American average body weight, you know. It's like a sliding scale.
just hopefully a way to grow it, because that would just suck if there's a cap and you're just basically like an oldies version of Jean Grey.
Yeah.
So you don't want that.
Yeah, that would be terrible. And then so the size girl. So I mean, I got confused though, because they said she can only move things that are the size, like the weight of the average, a human body weight. So the size girl, but she's flying tons and tons of things around. So that size girl, is she literally shrinking them, or is she just making them massively more dense? Like
she's actually shrinking them, because if by that logic, she only can lift a certain amount. So if she's able to shrink them, she's able to lift them out and do all these crazy things with it. I think she's also like
gotta be
changing
lighter.
the density of the object. So the more they shrink, I guess the lighter they are.
Okay.
It's not like Ant-Man logic where you can be small and still have the same strength as a man and all that kind of stuff.
Because when they grew, she dropped them all. And also, honestly, and I was talking smack on Midoriya's team, and albeit, was it justified? Yes, it was a very weak team. But we got really good character development out of your Uraraka. She got really good character development. We saw her in action. We saw the reason that she became a hero, which was awesome. And also, they kind of, in something that they've been doing for a long time, it's like, oh, she has a crush on Deku. But there was never, it was kind of like the Naruto and Hinata. There was never really a defining moment where they actually like built the romance until the pain arc,
First of all, that's just shonen in general. That's a problem
fair,
in itself.
Very fair. They're just like, and now they're together. But like, it was like a kind of cute episode to like build like the underlying romance of the situation. Do you think so?
Even now, where I'm far in the manga, they really haven't solidified anything still. That's why I said that. So I mean, it's there. It's there to a point, but like they ain't going so far to call each other a boyfriend, girlfriend.
No, God no. That won't happen until the last episode. Also, I loved that. So obviously we get the black whip, his arm, he loses control. It was another one, like I think we've had like 2 or 3 MHA moments where I get legitimate chills. And the black whip moment was like legitimate chills, like him screaming like, get back. And like losing control, and Shinzo having to take over him was so sick. That was a great moment. And Midoriya does get to meet the person who gives him Black Whip. My favorite part of the entire thing, though, 1B didn't miss a step.
I was just about to say that, bro. 1B, I mean, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, but at the same time, I get it. As soon as he had this whole uncontrollable moment, and even the teachers were about to stop the match, but since Deku got himself together, they're just like, okay, go.
Let's get it.
Like, jump them. Right
so we're seeing like, basically that was like literally the last thing I wrote is like, they took no time off, because the overarching like point of the season is we're getting 1A versus 1B. And so I thought that was really awesome. And I am excited to see how that fight finishes up, because now it's just a brawl. And Midoriya's team is not built for that brawl. Then again, neither really is Minoma's.
Honestly, I won't sleep on them a little bit, because granted, them personality wise and like planning to a point, they're not the best, but their quirks can be useful. Like I made a whole video about, like I said, how their evolution of their quirks work and everything, and what I can see potential in. Like for example, Monetta's whole ball quirk thing. One thing you never notice about his quirk is that none of his spears never get destroyed. Like you never see them get destroyed. You never see them get broken.
Yeah.
So basically, he might enlist, and right now, even in the manga, we haven't seen that yet. So basically, his spears might be indestructible.
That's a really good point. It's not like you never see one get ripped in half. They're always stuck to something. Like, and we saw a dude weld Bakugo to metal, and they ripped him right out of that. And yet we've never seen, like, I'd be very curious to see, like, if Bakugo had been sticky balled to the wall, could he have been ripped out of it? That is interesting. You're right. We've never seen it. Make ballistic vests out of Monetta's forehead. I just put him there, have him ripping balls off all day. That would have been incredible. That's a good point. I like that. So yes, Yanagi, she's got the telekinesis. She'll be interesting in the fight. Quirk, the size girl, like in a brawl, I feel like she's useless, because the size thing doesn't work on living things. So it's not like she could shrink anybody. I mean, she was interesting when they fought way back. I feel like actually it might not have been her who did it, but remember when there was the people who they were throwing lug nuts at Todoroki and then they were expanding them? Was that her?
No, that was actually a different school.
Okay.
That was a different school altogether.
Yeah, that was
I was noticing that
school.
too, like, yo, they have possibly like the same quirk.
Yeah. Oh, that would suck. Imagine being born into a world full of quirks and you get a repeat. you get the FIFA pack. You're like, oh, I already have this player. You know, like what? God damn it. Okay. So no, I am excited to see the brawl. I mean, what were you gonna say?
Oh, plus one thing I wanted to say is notice that all those characters on Class 1B, besides the copycat quirk guy, none of them were close-up combat. All their stuff is distance. Yeah. And mind you got Deku, of course, but you also don't forget Uraraka knows, her whole, what's it called? Machine metal.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then also, dang, what's her name?
Which one? The Acid Girl? No idea.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
So she also, I wouldn't say she's the best fighter, but she knows how to fight a little bit.
She can break dance.
So you got 2.5 people who can scrap.
Mina.
While the others, besides the copy guy, can't really. Yeah. They all have to be distant away. They also have to be far away to do their quirk.
Yeah.
So
I think it would be really cool if we see All for One or One for All get copied by Monoma. That would be a really, really cool situation. I would love to see him also maybe try and copy Minetta's quirk. I would love to see how that would work. Would he just grow all those balls on his head? Who knows? That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for next week. But since we're talking about brawls, ladies and gentlemen, we have the logical successor coming up on Netflix here. The logical successor to shows like Baki, to shows like Kengan Ashura, even to shows like Dragon Ball Super. If you really want to stretch your logic, we got another trailer. And listen, the show, you may not have heard anything about it, seen anything about it, but that's what we're here for. That's why it's the Weeb Weekly. We bring you into the news. We tell you all the things you should be watching, should be keeping up with. And we just got a trailer for a little show called The Record of Ragnarok. Jose put us on this. I'm not even going to take credit for this one. So where should we start other than with Jose? How did it look to you, buddy?
Oh my God, bro. Okay, so for those of you that have known me so far, I love mythology. And so I saw Ragnarok and I was like, oh, there's a new anime about mythological beings. Say less. Yeah. So I went in and I was a little bit apprehensive at the beginning because obviously it had Netflix all over it. So I was like, okay, is it going to be like a Netflix animated show? But it's a legit anime. It's an anime made by like Netflix. So I don't, that's why I was asking you guys. So like, do they bring external consultants? Is it going to be like dubbed or is it going to be like, is it going to be like a weird, like merging of cultures? And it honestly looks like a straight up anime, just like funded by Netflix.
Oh, Netflix makes a lot of anime, Jose.
No, but like I don't think I'm explaining myself right. Like it's very different to say like a Netflix original or like say like for example, some people would never consider Avatar: The Last Airbender to be anime, even though it's heavily inspired by Japanese culture, Asian martial arts, all that stuff. But like I was actually surprised when like the trailer is in Japanese and everything is in Japanese, at least that we've gotten so far. So I was like super hyped. The basic premise is 13 matches, right? We're getting a pseudo My Hero Academia battle royale, I guess, between the biggest champions from Earth and literal gods. So like the gods from mythology are fighting earthlings, I would say, to discover who's the best. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a tournament of power type deal with Dragon Ball Super where like one gets obliterated and one lives. I don't think they've revealed that in the 2 trailers we've gotten, but I thought it was super, I thought it was super interesting. And at least from the things that we've seen so far, one of the challengers from Earth is going to be like Adam, like from the biblical, like
I saw that
the biblical stories, like the Adam that received life from God.
One less rib.
One less rib. That's true. We did see. I did see a Thor-like person. He has red hair. but he does have the hammer and he does have electric powers. So I was like, okay, is this like a new version of Thor? I'm down. But I just wanted to see you guys' opinions because I saw it like a week ago, the first trailer. I was like, is this actually gonna be good? And then I saw the second trailer 5 days ago, and I was like, yo, we have to talk about this because this is getting a lot of hype.
No, what were you gonna say?
What do you guys think?
Oh, so it's actually based off an actual manga of the same name because one of my friends has read it, and yeah, I guess they basically decided Netflix decided to make it into an anime, which is pretty cool. And what I'm thinking about, it's pretty much like, for those who haven't seen it or heard of it, God of High School, the webtoon that they turned into an anime, short anime on not Netflix, on Crunchyroll. So it's pretty much like God of High School, but actually focusing on the mythology, all the gods and entities across the world, not just any specific one. Like every one of them, is going to be in this battle royale. I'm talking. He said Adam, Buddha, everybody and their mom.
I love it when anime does that. Anime's like, we're just getting gods. We're just getting God. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus shows up. They're just like, if you get offended, whatever. Like, you're gonna watch Jesus square up. I'm sorry.
And yes, and that is Thor, because I guess in the original mythology, Thor is actually ginger.
Yeah, he's a redhead. Yeah, and on the original ones, he's a redhead.
Makes sense. So yeah, no, Netflix makes a lot of anime. Like they made Devilman Crybaby, Baki. So Baki is probably the closest equivalent, I would say, or God of High School, honestly. Which is essentially, I mean, Baki is just like, there's this kid and he's really strong and his dad's the strongest dude on earth, and he just goes through a bunch of different tournaments of power. Tournament of Power is a massive trope in anime culture. You know, like Gon and Killua did it. DBS, Baki, Kengan Ashura, this God of High School. So these happen a lot, but this one does look like it's beautifully animated. That was one of the biggest things that stopped people from watching Kengan Ashura. And if you like battle tournament anime and you haven't seen Kengan Ashura, get it together. It is the most beautifully CGI'd thing you will ever watch. But so it does look beautifully animated. It's genuinely has looks like it's gonna have some really rich, deep lore. I love seeing anime adaptations of other gods, because they're always just we're gonna run with it. It's essentially why I love the Fate series, because sometimes they'll have Hindu gods just fighting each other, and I'm like, this is fantastic. But yes, I am very excited for it, because if Netflix, you could say that Netflix, it's got some good animes and it's got some very bad animes, but if it does one type of anime very well, it's battle shonens, and that is why I'm excited. Oh, Agretsuko, I'm having a stroke. The one about a death metal screaming cat. That one, also Netflix, won a bunch of awards.
Yeah, so there's also some slice of life on there that some people have recommended to me that are pretty good.
Yeah. So no, I am excited. I'm happy you turned us on to it. That's actually coming out pretty soon, right, Jose?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the exact release date, but it is coming out soon. Just as another divergent point, if you do love mythology, I know we covered this a little bit a few weeks ago, but they did cancel the show American Gods, and that also has a great take on mythologies in a more mature / live action way, because obviously it is a Showtime show, I believe, or Stars show. But I wholeheartedly recommend it, because it does touch upon those mythology aspects a lot. Yeah, and it has a great cast. Yeah. But I'm super excited for this one. I might have my next waifu. I don't know who she is, but the one with the blue hair. Oh gosh. So she.
Buddy, if you like blue-haired girls, this season's anime, stuff to the gills with them. I can turn you on to blue-haired girls. This entire seasonal repertoire of anime. There's 5 of them. I can get you a list of waifus. I got Rem behind me right here, my guy. You seen ReZero?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it, but I think it's just a byproduct of Bulma. I think Bulma just hit me way too early, and it's just been. I think it was Bulma way too early, and it's yeah, I think this is gonna stick. But all I know is Record to Ragnarok will be worth the watch.
It's at least going to be violent, and that's what we're looking for. You know who now that we're talking about Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball in general, you know who did it for me at that young age, that prime age of first waifudom? It was the Pepper. No,
Oh.
it was Pep. Was that her name? Pepper?
Pepper?
The one who changes every time she sneezes.
I know you're talking about. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's the one who got me. I don't know. It was just the blondes.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
crazy. Yeah, look at my track record and you'll understand it. But yeah. Pepper is the one who did it. Or I think that's her name. But yeah, okay, cool. So no, we're all very excited for that. We'll probably be covering that when it does come out. We'll all binge it or something because it's definitely not coming out episodically if it's on Netflix. But that does bring us to our conversation for the week. Which anime protagonist would you like to be? Okay, because we when we have a lot to talk about on the show, and we do talk about a lot of things, but we also like to think hypothetically. We like to put our philosophical caps on, and as anime adjacent, I'm going to say, content creators, we get questions like this a lot. So if you ever have questions like, hey, what anime protagonist would you want to be? Because I know I get that one a lot. What's your favorite Naruto character? All of these things. So this one is probably, I'd say, the question I get second, third most in my Twitch chats and all that kind of thing. So here we are. We're going to get into it. We're going to put our answers in concrete so they can still be asked to us 4 times a week down the road. But that's okay. Jose, you want to get started here?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my main question for this was, is it MC? Are we doing main characters?
Oh, you know what? Let's not. Let's just do any anime character. I like the twist.
Oh, if I could be any animated character, I mean, those of you that know me know that Gohan is my dude, but it's not for so I have some very basic answers that are not for the reasons that you think. Oh, okay, yeah, I totally remember now. But yeah, I have 3 answers, right? I have 3 answers. 1, Gohan, because I would love to change the way that his perception is seen, at least now, because Ultimate Gohan should have been the GOAT, and they took. No,
you just want Videl. Actually, you can admit it, sir.
I told you, my girl is Bulma. Has always been Bulma. So like, I will not be Vegeta because I already have his hairline, and I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
I'm right
Take
there
that
with
out
you,
of my
brother.
life.
That's why the headband's on.
Yes, sir. So I refuse to get that Vegeta hairline. I mean, if I do get the Majin stamp, I'll take it though. So Gohan, because of what he represents, just like dealing with a lot of your inner demons and coming out victorious and doing it by yourself with not that, like, you get pushed by your mentors, but you overcome those battles by yourself. That really resonates with me and the things that I've seen in my life. So Gohan is one. An unpopular one, Yugi. Oh, Yami Yugi, bro.
You don't.
I would love. I would be Joey.
Joey in a heartbeat.
Oh my god, bro. Would you imagine showing up with the Pharaoh on your back and be like, Marek, it's Shadow Realm time, bro. We're fighting to the death. I mean, I don't want to fight to the death with just anybody, but like, if it's like for the fate of the universe, I would take a magic Pharaoh hyping me up like forever. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to choose anyone from that universe, it would actually be Kaiba. I would like to be an 18-year-old billionaire, you know.
I'm picking wrong ones. I'm picking the wrong ones.
No, it's okay.
and then the last one that I would say would be really fun to be would actually be Zuko. I'd be Zuko, and I would take it a little bit different. I would take it.
You would dodge the fire.
No. Yeah, not just that. Not just that. I would make some other decisions. Like I would have. I know. Part of his character development is like failing to find the avatar, failing to capture the avatar, and then doing it, and then like finding out that that's not who he wants to be, and that his thing is the family stuff. But like even post at like the main story of Avatar, if you've seen like the comic strips or any of the other like pieces of media surrounding Avatar, there's actually like a lot of disagreements between him and Aang while Central City is being built. Like there's I believe there's even like another, like not a worldwide conflict, but I think there's another thing with the spirit world that like Zuko's like, okay, we just need to eliminate like the threat right now. And Aang and Zuko have that butting of heads that was very prominent with Fire Lord The one before his dad. The one before his dad, and then Avatar Roku. Yeah, the one that was best friends with Roku.
Oh, so Fire Lord. No.
So it's not Ozai. It's the one. Sozin.
Sozin's
like
Comet.
this.
Yep.
Yeah. So Sozin Roku like repeats itself with Aang and Zuko, but they're able to like work out their differences. So like I would love to not just like see what it's like to have a challenge that big with like my best friend or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I have really weird answers to this question.
No,
but I feel like it would be a really interesting storyline because I was thinking I'll let you guys go after this. I just wanted to say this.
I would hope so.
There's a series on YouTube. I forgot who his name is, but he basically makes like it's like a fan made retelling of popular anime storylines. So for example, what if
like
Goku
abridged?
never
like Naruto abridged?
No.
Okay. No,
So for example,
okay.
what ifs, it would change the entire like story. For example, what if Goku never made it to Earth and he made it to Beerus's planet instead? And like the entire 40 minutes, he's just explaining how the story of the universe would go if certain small things had happened. And like we see an intelligent Goku that literally just like is strategic to the point that he like destroys, like even like becomes the god of destruction and basically demolishes everybody, like even including Moro with like zero difficulty, which is it's the thing is like think about Vegito but with absolutely zero messing around. It's like you're trying to become strong,
like,
yow. So I love that. I want to see what are your picks? Which character, MC or non-MC, would you guys like to be?
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. So you're talking, Gohan because you believe what he stands for and how he represents this resilient kind of frame of mind, and Yugi because you get to hang out with a pharaoh and you get to put people in the shadow realm, and then you want to be all these people for all these philosophical and very deep important reasons. I want to be Issei from High School DxD because you get a drag, you get to be a dragon mech and you have a harem of 13 beautiful women. I thought we were all.
I knew it.
It's my bad. I thought we were all on board that train, but I get to be almost universal, and I get 13 women in a California king size bed. Zenobia alone would have been good enough for me. So my bad.
Hey, I get it.
I'm not nearly as philosophical. I mean, I guess you could say I'd stand behind his philosophies of just really wanting women. I don't know. All right, Mizu, take it away from here.
I don't even know how to start with that. I know that you said that. But I will also say that too. Like you made George Jose really philosophical, but I also care about safety.
True.
Here's the thing. I'm letting y'all know. Though I talk about shonen a lot, and though it's one of my favorite genres, you will never catch me in one of these shonens. Like I'm not trying to get myself killed, possibly, because most of these shonen worlds are just insane. Yeah. I'm not gonna do that to myself. Even with My Hero, I think even My Hero is like the only part maybe I'll possibly get in. But the fact that I might live with a quirk that might be useless,
that would be so devastating.
That would be awful. Or just being
so no Batman, no Batman, no shonens. Okay, got it. No Gotham.
Honestly, I feel like he would want to be Batman because then he could clean up Gotham.
No Gotham, no shonens. That's the most that I've gotten from Mizu.
Hold on.
Okay.
So the anime that I would definitely want to be in, or specifically main character, would be Soma from Food Wars.
Nice.
And the reason why is because, I mean, it's a whole anime, just shonen anime that's about cooking.
Yep.
And they cook the most bomb food that even in real life is hard to replicate.
Outside of a Miyazaki film, the best looking anime food out there.
For real. And but you also said that my main character. So if we're saying non-main character, I would pick Soma's father. Soma's father, for those who don't know, Soma's father is like a world-renowned
Yep.
chef.
Michelin star chef. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's known everywhere he travels.
Mhm.
He's loved by everyone. People worship his food.
Yep.
So if I can be in an anime like that with a main character, or at least a character with at least a character, it would be Soma's father or
Nice.
Soma, because
That'd be
I
pretty.
get to eat food all day, especially if, not gonna lie, if y'all haven't seen it, if food does that to you, I want it. I want the food.
Full context for those of you who haven't seen plates 1 through 5. A large trope throughout Food Wars is they'll take a bite of the food, and then whatever ingredient is prominent in the food will proceed to then strip their clothes off. Essentially, it's like these like it's incredible sensual bliss with every single bite, and it does look like I've had literally though, like literally bussing. Like,
Yes,
I've had great food. I've eaten at Michelin star restaurants in Italy, but it's never stripped me naked. Like, so that's a good take. I like that.
but here's the thing. At first, when I first saw that was a regular thing in the anime, the first episode, of course, I was thrown off. But like by episode 15, I'm just like, he really did a good job if he did all that. Like,
yeah. If you could, I don't know, maybe I'm cooking wrong. Maybe I'm going wrong here. That's a good, because there's like the worst thing you have to worry about in that circumstance is, hey, I burnt my food. It's not, oh, my family was just murdered by demons. No, I don't want to be Tanjiro. Like, sure, you can fire breathe.
I was
now.
thinking Tanjiro. I was thinking
Why?
Tanjiro, but I was like, damn, no.
You
no,
lost
no.
everyone. First off,
yes,
here's
no.
the thing. And I respect your choices, but Gohan, you just chose the fatherless. Gohan,
true.
Yuji,
Big facts.
Gohan, Yuji, and who's your third?
I was Gohan, Yuji, and damn, all fatherless, and my dad's just like chilling over there with my my father's a big part of my life, so I'm like,
I could go
why am I
without
choosing
a
father?
dad.
Because Zuko also has father of the
all
year.
bad, all daddy issues.
All
There's
daddy.
something you need to tell us. That's funny.
I guess I'll tell my dad once he comes in. I'll be like, why am I thinking like this? He'll be like, I don't know, bro.
I love you. I love you.
Bro.
You've been good to me. Okay, well, since we're talking about absentee fathers, another person with an absentee father. My segues today have been so on point. Let's talk about absentee fathers. You've been catching up on Izuku Midoriya's story, and he does have a dad, and we do get to meet him at some point, but it was still not where we are in the anime. He's got a fire quirk.
No, even with the manga, we have yet to see this man.
Oh, okay, good. The milk is very far away. How are you feeling? You saw One for All get used.
Oh my god. So okay. So I'm personally very excited because this version of catching up where I'm basically like ramping up to where you guys are and watching you guys talk about everything that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't even consider it spoilers because I tune out the specifics. I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be like so fire. And then I see Mizu's face every time that he wants to say something, but he doesn't because he knows what's gonna happen. And I'm like, yo, if Mizu knows what is up. So for those of you that don't know, I'm catching up on My Hero Academia because I have to because I don't know how I missed it in 2016, so I'm watching it now.
Right.
And I just saw another episode in which I cried. I have not cried in so many episodes back to back to back. So
it was very good.
So I just finished episode 4, which is when our boy Deku is in UA High. Let's go.
Class 1A, baby.
Accepted. I love it. Okay, so basically I saw the rundown for the acceptance exam. So you have the written portion and then you have the save everybody's ass portion in a city where the training area was huge. Like it was wild.
They have a lot of money.
So basically my biggest takeaways were Uraraka is a real G. I love her. I did see Tenya. I think Tenya's his name. The dude that was like mumbling at like telling him to stop talking during the first 2 episodes.
Ida.
Yeah.
Ida,
Ida. Yeah. So he said basically like don't interrupt her, and I'm like okay. So he's in the Bakugo.
Trust me.
Yeah, he's not straight up Bakugo, but he's still there on my shit list.
He's class president type. Like he's like in a library,
Yeah, there's this dude that literally had a laser come out of like his navel or something. Like, what's his name?
Yeah.
Dude, he saved Deku. Yeah, because
That's the
Deku's
last
basically
useful thing he
the
did.
brains without the brawn, right? That's what he is
Mhm.
up until this point. But then you get I think it was Uraraka, right? She was
Uraraka,
in
yeah.
a pile of debris, right? Because there was this robot that was is it level 0? Do they call it level 0?
It's like it's worth 0 points is what it is.
Yeah. So it destroyed a building. Uraraka's under a pile of debris, and he's like, okay, it's time to go like full effort, water breathing, fourth form, and he just basically like goes all ham. And that punch, like Falcon punch, was glorious.
If only Falcon punch just shattered his arm every time. You wouldn't be spamming B as often, that's for sure.
Hey, that is very true. That is very true. So Deku like just basically destroyed all of his limbs. He went full on Darth Vader episode 3. And basically I hate you. He sacrificed himself for Uraraka. So that's the second time that we've seen him sacrifice himself without like not well on this one. He basically he did feel it, and that he did get one for all to pop out. But
yeah,
the selflessness of this character is something that's very poignant to me. Like this guy he's down and dirty for the squad 25-8. So I like Deku, and then I did feel bad because he like it's a recover like the girl that recovery girl. That's the girl that like basically gives him the Super Mario mushroom to come back to life.
Yes.
So she's came back. Bean. Yeah, she's the sensu bean.
She's Kairi, but you don't bite her.
I felt like crap. I was like, bro, you're gonna get that examination result and be like, you're not in. And of course, they did say that like he did score 0 points on their like the field exam basically, but he aced or did super well on the written one. So it's everything that you didn't want to happen happened, but then Uraraka pulled through.
Yeah,
the girl, I think it was Uraraka, right? Yeah, she gave him she gave him his points, her points.
Yeah,
like bro. Hey,
adorable.
I'm hyped. I cried as soon as All Might told him he was gonna be a teacher, and then he was like, "Yo, I wanted to tell you, like, you're in, you in, baby.
Yeah,
you're in." I'm like, "Oh,
we made it. Look, Mama, we made it."
Yes, bro. I still have to pick between the 3 names to call him. So okay, Midoriya, Deku, and then we have Izuki.
Izuka. No, Izuku Midori. Yeah, I listen.
I'm gonna just call him Deku.
Deku is easy. I 80 episodes in, I still mess it up every time I try it. So yeah. No, it's an incredible show, and I'm very happy that you're getting into it.
So far, it's like that. Full on hype. Full on hype on my end. I will not watch anything else until I finish anime wise, until I'm up to date with My Hero, because I'm not starting Bleach like with Deku having me cry in the back of my hands. Like I can't do that. I can't do that to myself.
I will.
Okay.
I have a golden rule. Never watch 2 big anime simultaneously. Have 1 big anime, and then you can supplement it with 12 episoders or current like seasonal outputtings, but never watch 2 big anime simultaneously.
I'm gonna pull the ball back in your guys' court.
Okay.
Should I do Reincarnated as a Slime or To Your Eternity while I'm watching My Hero?
Reincarnated as a Slime is a better show. It's a better show.
It's a better show. I would say go with Reincarnated as Slime.
Yeah.
But if you start with Eternity, you'll be quicker since you'll be like more up to date, because you wouldn't be really behind, because it's just like it just started.
Yeah.
And I've also been watching Into Your Eternity, and my God.
Well, what did the first episode do to you? Like I broke down.
Holy crap.
I broke down. I've never seen an first episode. Oh my God, I'm so excited to talk about this. Holy shit.
No, so wait, tell me why one of my mutuals, those who don't know, Morally Gray is my favorite color. She's a big anime TikToker, and she did a whole video of like doing an audio of like, where the hell is she? And it's like Into Eternity, and she slaps it, and it shows sad music. Like, why are you so sad? And I'm sitting here like, for real, why are you so sad?
Unnecessarily so.
This doesn't need to be like.
Okay, well that's the thing. So if you did watch To Your Eternity, then we could talk about it on a week-to-week basis. And trust me, there's sadder moments later on, MIZU, when you catch on.
I know, and I'm not looking forward to it.
The show reminds you what the here's the thing. It's like there's a little lull. There's like a couple happy episodes that are like very classic shonen, kind of isekai-y, and then it reminds you. You're like, yeah. Would you forget how this show started? It's getting better. It's really good.
It's basically so what you're telling me, it's like the anime version of Black Mirror. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's a few like cool episodes. You're like, okay, all right, like some happy times, and then
it
the
reminds
rest is just
you.
like
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so I'll do that.
It's a very good show. If I had to rank it amongst this season's anime, I'd say it's probably 4. But that's only because this season's anime is so ridiculously stacked. And I'm actually going to be recommending. Actually, this is another great segue for my anime recommendation of the week. So I'd say of identifiable animes that we're talking about in this season, we probably got 86 Tokyo Revengers, To Your Eternity, Slime Diaries, I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and Maxed Out My Level. And then lastly, we have MHA. And then there's another one that I think I'm spacing right now. But Vivi of the Fluoride Eyes, which I'd say is probably number 2 on the list. But my number 1 on the list, and no one is talking about it. In my Twitch chat, I've been telling them over and over and over and over and over again. 86. 86 is so good. It is a mech anime about a post-apocalyptic world, sort of. This is gonna make it sound weird, but essentially Nazi Germany is the last country standing. Okay, it's not Nazi Germany, but it's a fascist regime that uses people who don't look like, for the sake of, they're called Anju, but essentially let's call them Aryan. All the Aryans don't have to fight, but everyone who's non-Aryan is manning these mechs, and those mechs now have to go fight mechs that are controlled by AIs trying to take over this regime. And so everyone within the regime doesn't know that there's actually people piloting their mechs. So every single day they hear, we destroyed X amount of mechs and nobody dies. And there's 2 main characters. There's Reaper, and then there's the commander. Okay, and the commander she's sympathetic to the cause of those who are non-Aryan, we'll call them. And they're called the 86. That's why the show is called 86. Essentially, they come from the 86th district. So the entire show is a long allegorical, like, storytelling version of both sides of fascism. You see the inside of fascism, and you see what it can do to those on the outside. You understand, you get these deep, complex stories about these people and their motivations for fighting, even though the country doesn't give a fuck about them. And it is incredible. And it is a lot like a Kame ga Kill. Do not get connected to these characters, because it will not hesitate.
No, I don't like that.
To take them from you. But like, it's not in a bad way or anything. It just, the show, for a lack of a better term, has gusto. It's got balls. It's willing to do the things that other shows won't. It's well written. It's complex. It's political if you look at it in a certain way, and it's beautifully animated. The fight scenes are incredible, and my God, is the soundtrack good. I couldn't recommend it more highly. I mean, if you enjoy Tokyo Revengers and you're like, that's my number 1. If you enjoy Vivi of the Fluoride Eyes, then that's my number 1. That's fine. But my number 1 seasonal anime this year is the 86. Please watch it. It's kind
of sounding like one of my favorite Code Geass. I love.
Yes, it's that's it. It's incredibly Code Geassian. Yes. There's no Lelouch. There's no like super OP protagonist. Like Reaper is like a very powerful operator, and so he's like Lelouchian-esque. But yes, it's Code Geass. Actually, that's actually a really good parallel. It is very Code Geassian. But all right, cool. That's my anime recommendation. I say we go ahead.
Where's it on?
Crunchyroll. Yeah, okay. That's at least where I'm watching it. What, Jose?
I was gonna say, I think I just found our question for next week. What's your favorite mech anime?
Honestly, my favorite. You know what? We won't answer that. We won't answer that.
We won't answer that.
No, not right now. You'll have to blog in next week, Monday, if you want to hear what our favorite mech anime is. Wow, segues today are going crazy. Yes, sir. I don't have a segue for winners and losers, but we might.
I have a perfect segue, because you mentioned Mondays. Because last Monday, I believe it was last Monday, we received some very big news.
We did.
For the Marvel Cinematic Universe and everything superheroes.
I almost roll past it. Yes.
Yeah. No. Hey, I got you. Homie. So I know Mr. MIZU and I have held our tongue for a little bit on this matter. So for those of you that don't know, we have another episode of Disney fucking with our minds with their money. So okay. You know Aaron Taylor Johnson, right? he is widely known as that dude in Godzilla, but also Quicksilver
Who was he in Godzilla?
from the MCU. Yeah, he was in Godzilla with his dad was Bryan Cranston, the OG Godzilla, 2014.
Oh, the OG Godzilla. Okay.
Yeah, from 2014.
I thought you meant
So
King of Monsters.
Aaron Taylor, and from Kick-Ass also. He's really cool.
Yep.
But he's also well known as the guy that played Quicksilver that was pretty good, but then died, obviously, because, well, Disney does that to characters.
Yeah.
But he has now been officially cast as Kraven the Hunter, which is one of the most important Spider-Man exclusive villains, right? Because he's so to give you a brief background, this guy is one of the founding members of the Sinister Six, which is the rogues gallery of Spider-Man. And this man is so good that, like, I mean, if you haven't read the comics, it's fine, but he is so OP that he even becomes Spider-Man in one continuity. Like he's that dude. And so this is a Sony picture, but we still don't know if it's going to be tied to the MCU like Morbius is. But we do know that Tom Holland is going to be in the movie. So it's like all different pieces of like the multiverse like clashing together business wise. And I wanted to get your opinions, because what this means in my book is that since they already brought Evan Peters back in WandaVision, why not bring him and other people from the X-Men into the MCU? I need Halle Berry I need Halle Berry in my life. I want Storm back, bro. Please. I want to see what your opinion is. What do you feel about this casting?
Mizu, you're probably more knowledgeable on this than I am, but I do have some questions. But Mizu, go ahead.
I do think it's an interesting choice that they picked him to play the Kraven Hunter. It was kind of surprising because I didn't picture him being in that role, but you never know, because actors can pull off stuff that you never know they could. So I'm going to give him a chance and see what he can do. And yes, for those who don't know, Kraven Hunter is no joke. What he said earlier about him becoming Spider-Man, that's because in one of the comics, Kraven beats and kills Spider-Man and felt so guilty that he beat someone such of a high caliber that he became Spider-Man to protect New York. And so, of course, you know, comic book logic, Spider-Man comes back in some way.
Of course.
But that's how powerful he is, that he was one of the few people to actually beat Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And like even imitate him. So what I've been hearing is that, they are setting up this for the Sinister Six. They got the same actor who played Doc Ock in the Sam Raimi films.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Jamie Foxx in the
Electro,
Electro. And they're basically, especially for him, I like how they're giving Jamie basically a second chance to do that character again.
Mm-hmm.
So I like what they're doing. And some people speculate that there's also been rumors and I guess
William
some
Dafoe.
news that William Dafoe, who played Green Goblin in the original Sam Raimi, is also in talks of being in this said Spider-Man film. But not confirmed yet, but he says he is talking to him. And it sounds like Green Goblin might be the main bad guy of the film, who's going to set up the Sinister Six to stop these potential Spider-Man group or whatever this movie's gonna be.
Okay, so
question time, baby.
My first couple of questions are, so this has nothing to do with Not Far From Home. What's the one that's coming up here?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. This is beyond the scope of No Way Home, right?
Yes. Well, we don't know. We don't know.
We really don't know. So
okay, and then also Aaron Taylor Johnson does get the role, which honestly good for him. I'm not going to speak ill. I haven't seen a lot of his work. I liked him as Quicksilver, but people wanted first off, looking at Kraven the Hunter, who I didn't know until this moment. Why not either Jason Momoa or Keanu Reeves? Those are spot on castings.
That's what I thought.
What I thought. And I think the reason might be is because, you know, Jason Momoa was Aquaman in the DC, and they said that Keanu Reeves, first of all, Keanu Reeves has been waiting for an MCU role since the early days of the MCU.
He
People don't know this.
Yeah,
because Kevin Feige himself said that we have been looking for a role for him for a long while, but we haven't found anyone that truly would fit him per se. And I don't think it'll be Kraven Hunter, and some people speculate that he might be Ghost Rider.
God, that would be so.
Yes,
I
please.
was going to be because I originally thought he was going to be Namor for Black Panther, because he was actually attached to the film Black Panther at first, and he might have been the bad guy for it. However, now they changed because there's a totally different man who's going to be potentially playing Namor. So I think, in my opinion, that he's going to play the Ghost Rider.
Has Keanu Reeves ever played a bad guy? I'm literally trying to rack my brain. I don't think I've ever seen him play a bad guy.
Mostly no, but he's played morally questionable characters, but they more tend to go on the good side.
Yeah, Devil's Advocate.
That would be him as Ghost Rider would be absolutely incredible. Bro. First off, essentially in John Wick 3, he is Ghost Rider. Like he's already there. Slap some CGI on that and basically just have him recreate that scene. Like that's all you need.
Yeah. I've been a very big proponent of the Ghost Rider being in the MCU. He needs to be there now. Yeah. Keanu Reeves, one of the big things that I was told, or just like in general, like there's been lots of rumors, right? Because like Keanu is also a big geek, right? He's also a huge nerd. He has such a big range because he's done comedies. Like he's known for comedies. He's known for like being an action superstar. He's known for being like super versatile in terms of his range with drama and everything. So he can embody a lot of good protagonists in the MCU. When I thought he was going to come in was when there were rumors that he was going to play Adam Warlock. There were rumors that he was going to play.
Yep,
bro, that would also be a dope casting.
Now that we're talking about it, Aaron Taylor Johnson would have been a great casting for Adam Warlock.
True.
You dye his hair.
I would have kept Evan Peters. As Quicksilver.
Yeah, because you're right. Like he is back through WandaVision, correct?
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's weird.
That is weird. That's not very MCU-ian.
The thing is, Disney. Props to whoever is running the mouse now, because like the thing is, the MCU has. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
they defrosted him.
Bro. They have such a blessing of what it's not like the multiverse, because they have it in the comics. So there's President, and they can just do whatever the hell they want and say like, well, it's the multiverse, anything can happen, haha. Because like think about it, they have the flexibility to bring in whatever actor they want from whatever property they have.
Yep.
And like it will make sense. It will make sense because like if for example, nobody would have said. Yeah, nobody would have in their right mind would have said, "Oh, the MCU is actually going to have like a Spider-Verse in it." Like, well, the animated version won an Oscar, and like it's all the villains are ready to come back, like and basically have a three-way Spider-Man extravaganza.
I'm sorry, a what?
So like a three-way Spider-Man extravaganza is what I said. I did not say anything around that nature.
That's a video I would watch.
Yes, sir. But I'm super excited for this. That Disney is not shying away from letting characters letting actors move on, because this sets precedent, right? This sets precedent for Disney MCU actors going into Sony exclusive movies, and then hopefully vice versa. The big things actually, before we leave, because I know we have a few more things, but like before we leave, which characters from other universes, or which actors would you like to see in the MCU besides Keanu Reeves? Because I want like the two ones for me are, I want to see Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, as what?
As a celestial, or
really?
Or the Beyonder. He looks like he could look like the Beyonder.
He's kind of older in years is my thing, but okay, yeah, okay, all right.
So I'll take that one, and I definitely want to see, what's his face, bro? Oh my God, I just blanked on the name.
Give me
Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Leo DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio. And then bro, Jason Momoa has to come in at some point and do something.
I just wonder I wonder if DC, because we have no Marvel DC crossovers, I wonder if DC's contracts stipulate you can't be in Marvel movies simultaneously. It's like you can't have co-citizenship or something like that. Because I mean, think about it. Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, Urza, whose last name I'm forgetting, Ben Affleck, none of those people, even Robert Pattinson, Joaquin Phoenix, the very attractive Israeli woman. She's not Israeli. Is she Israeli?
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
No, Gal Gadot can't be in the MCU right now.
No.
There's
So
no
I
way.
think there's a possibility that their contract stipulates something that like they can't be. This is an ass pull, but like, I mean, come on, those are some of the biggest names in acting out there, and maybe it's just that like time, like they're like the time doesn't work because they put out movies around the same time. But I mean, yeah, I would love to see Jason Momoa. I think Henry Cavill would play the shit out of some of these roles. Henry Cavill has grown up Shazam, would have been incredible. It would have been a nice little like haha, like Superman and shit. Like Shazam is just like literally copyrighted like Superman. Like they had to they almost got sued because of it. And so like, oh wait, no, Shazam's DC. I'm dumb. Yeah,
Shazam had trouble with Captain Marvel because the original Captain Marvel was him, but then Captain Marvel changed for
So like there's a ton of characters that I would love to see get ported into the Marvel Comics universe, but I'd say probably none higher than either John Bernthal or I would also love to see not Tom Holland, the guy who plays Venom.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, because he's one of my favorite actors on the face of the earth. How about you, MIZU?
For me, it's just I only have one that I can think of off the top of my head. Is I just want to see Wesley Snipes come back as Blade. I don't want him to come back as Blade, but I want him to come back and be the mentor of Blade, like how the one dude was in the original. And one thing people don't know, because I said this before, and some people are like, but he was like, isn't he like white? Like he's the original, but he's actually not. He's actually originally a black jazz musician who happened to be a vampire hunter on the side. The story behind Blade is freaking weird. I'm not gonna lie.
I love
it. It's so 70s. I fucking love it. It's just like,
with that being said, I would want Wesley Snipes to come back and either be the mentor for this Blade, Marshall Ali's Blade, or just make a cameo in it in some form or fashion, just Wesley so he can show because people don't understand. It's like Blade, the MCU wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
Blade. No, it was the only successful thing that Marvel did in those dark years. I mean, Marvel put out
besides Spider-Man.
Marvel put out Daredevil. I mean, but that was Sony. You know, that wasn't. I guess this was back when Marvel was owned by Fox, I believe, or someone like that before.
It was the X-Men and Blade.
X-Men was good and Blade, but like they put out Daredevil with Ben Affleck, and they put out a bunch of other they put out the Hulk, like a bunch of like stinkers, and Blade literally kept them aloft. But okay, cool. All right, so we want to crack into winners and losers here because I have had some news I've been trying to give you guys for a while here.
Yes, sir.
So you know
baby.
Last week we were talking about what game we want to see adapted into a TV show. Apparently, we're getting one of the ones we talked about. The one we talked about at length. We're getting a Halo live action TV show in 2022. Confirmed. Wow. I didn't know either. There's a confirmed casted Halo live action television show with my shout out to Crimson King, one of my followers over on Twitch. He DM'd me on Discord. He goes, listen, I heard you guys talking that you kind of wanted a Halo series. One is confirmed and has been in production. It's set to come out in 2022. The cast list is out too. It's Master Chief centered and it's live action. So Pablo Schreiber. Pablo Schreiber from Den of Thieves. Essentially, if you guys, the main character who's not Ice Cube's son, the white guy who's 50 Cent's best friend from Den of Thieves. If you guys haven't seen Den of Thieves, it's one of the best heist movies out there. But Pablo Schreiber is the guy who's going to be playing Master Chief, and he's a big motherfucker. He is a big boy. So it is a very good casting. But
he's also in American Gods and The Wire. So I remember him. I'm like, oh god, yes.
So winner of the week is us, Halo, everybody.
Wow,
isn't that crazy? And it was funny because we were saying we want it live action. We're like, we could take Halo live action, and we're getting it live action.
One thing I hope that they do is that they keep Master Chief's face hidden, because even us in the games, we don't know what he looks like.
Every single time he takes it off.
And one thing I kind of don't want them to do is kind of what they did in The Mandalorian. Is that it's like a big, because you know how it's like a big thing for Mandalorians not to take their helmets off in front of people and things like that, which was kind of cool. But I feel like they kind of like overdid it a little bit in the show at the near end. So it's just like,
when he meets the other Mandalorians who take it off and they're like, you're from like a religious cultist. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it just kind of felt like it's still there, but to me, just a little bit, it lost some of its meaning when he did that to a point, in my personal opinion. So hopefully, and plus it is a rumor, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that the actor who played the Mandalorian was, I guess complaining that he didn't get enough face recognition in it. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Pedro. Yeah.
He's an incredible actor, but I mean, essentially it's like how one of the Skarsgård's brothers is just, he's always covered up. He's like the guy who plays it, the guy who plays Pennywise, he plays a bunch of other like covered hooded figures, and like nobody knows who he is, but he's a millionaire off very successful movies. You know, nobody knows his face. Well, Jose, I saw you go. For those of us listening in audio form, Jose is officially losing his shit on video. So what's going on, Jose?
Steven Spielberg is producing it.
No way.
It's Amblin Television is producing it, bro. That's Steven Spielberg's company. Oh my god.
So what's it coming out on? It's obviously got to be a
2022
service.
Paramount TV, which is my loser of the week. Paramount Plus. Damn.
Paramount TV got it. No way.
F's in the chat.
I have,
because it's moving from Showtime to Paramount Plus.
That's crazy. No, I mean, good for that. Hey, listen, that's gonna be their cornerstone. You know,
that's gonna be that. Hey, it better be good.
That's everybody. Here's the thing. I thought about getting Paramount Plus because I wanted to watch Ink Master, and then I just started illegally streaming it. I was like, they have. That was like, that's the only place I can get Ink Master nowadays, and I was like, I'll just fucking illegally stream it. That's crazy though. Good, you know, honestly, good for them. Honestly, winner of the week might be Paramount, because listen, they're gonna get a lot. Yeah, they're gonna get a lot of money off that. I am genuinely interested. But yeah, that is
if you're listening to this, for the love of God, please just follow the game, like, or at least clean it up. Granted, the Halo plot maybe not be as consistent, but don't divvy off into a point where it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like don't try to make it so like consumer friendly that you lose the ball entirely. Like, talk about the Halo rings, talk about the Flood, talk about, you know, do the Harbinger storyline. Like, all of these things are things we want to see. Jose, what are you doing?
I was gonna come back with news because we don't have to wait that long. Apparently, story details are pretty locked, but some representatives from the show said that it's going to be incredibly respectful to the canon, since they have people that worked on from
Bungie
343 and Bungie. Like, they had both people in there, and apparently it's covering the Covenant War and then the Halo space station. So I think we're getting a Halo 1 straight up, like, but it has three. It's basic. So from what they've said, they basically had to recast Cortana because they had somebody first, and now they have another person playing Cortana. But it's basically Halo and Master Chief and three new Spartans that we haven't seen before. So it's this is exciting. I'm excited. So I'm excited. So I don't know if they have season 1 and 2 already covered, but I think it's set for a Q1 2022 debut on Paramount TV. So Paramount Plus. So I think they're filming right now.
That's like 8 months away.
Sheesh. That's
Who
exciting.
Would you guys want as Cortana? I mean, is that already casted?
Yeah, she's already casted. Her name is Natasha McElhone. Let me see if I remember her. I remember her face, but I haven't seen. She played Ronin in the Truman Show.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, with and she was in Californication. She was in Californication as well.
I think I might know who you're talking about. Okay, so that's my winner for the week. And then the loser for the week is Tokyo Revengers, because it's getting a live action movie. 7 episodes in, it is slated for a live action movie. And I looked up the cast. None of them, first off, this show is essentially about a 25-year-old who ports back into a 12-year-old body. No one on the show is younger than 25. On the movie is younger than 25. It is a bunch of 25-year-olds playing 12-year-olds, just fighting each other in the streets as biker gangs. And it looks, god awful. But I am so excited to watch it. Because, like, here's the thing. Mikey and Draken look kind of cute, like kind of cool. And they're my favorite characters from it. But Tokyo Revengers is obviously a very popular manga, and that's probably why it got the live action movie. But 8 episodes into the anime adaptation, they announced that it's getting a live action movie, and I am so excited to watch it burn. MIZU, you're giving me a stare.
That's weird that they already gave it a live action for only seven episodes. Granted, maybe they might be based off the manga, but that's just weird.
It's wild. And then my other loser for the week is Gugu. He's actually from To Your Eternity. I feel like I don't want to spoil this, but Gugu is from the most recent episode of To Your Eternity, and essentially a little boy who had his face crushed with a rock, and then his crush told him that she had a crush on Fushi, the main character. So he had just like literally one of the worst episodes I've ever seen in anime. Yeah, like he just had a really rough day.
No, it sounds like, guess what happened to him? It sounds like he just got Obito.
Yeah. Oh my God, he did. It's so specific, but it works so well. Yeah, I mean, did you lose the love of your life and get crushed by a rock on your face? That's called getting Obito'd. That's awesome. And then my last one is the 86, because we found out recently that the 86 are slated to join their team because they need to die. They don't get reinforcements or anything because the fascist regime cannot have them survive and tell what happened to them during the war. So they are guaranteed to die, and if they retreat, they are shot. So the 86 are my third and final losers. Jose, bless us.
My winners of the week. So far, I have a few. Bad Batch, finally picking up.
Yep.
Finally giving us what we want to see.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of traction. The second one is our very own MIZU Shogun. There are more people on the Kaiju number 8 train. They're like, I have over 3 or 4 friends that have talked to me about reading Kaiju number 8 and loving it, and Spy Family. So it's like it's catching fire without even me asking them to like check it out. Like
Manga Rex going crazy.
It's actually happening. It's happening. So
yes.
That's a dub. That's a dub.
Big old dub.
The other big dub is MCU / comic fans, because we do get the precedent of MCU actors leaving and hopefully Fox actors coming back into the MCU. So that's my big win. Those are my 3 big winners, right? For my losers, it's a little bit on a sadder. Well, not for all of them. It's sad. This Is Us is coming to an end. The show, the very prominent NBC show, it's coming to an end after its 6th season. I really like that show. The Ellen DeGeneres show got canceled. The Ellen DeGeneres show got canceled. So that she's done after the 22nd season. So 2022 will be her last season. That's a big news. The Ellen DeGeneres show is officially ending. Which is wild, I did not expect that to happen. Considering like 2 years ago, she was literally like the biggest.
Quarantine was real bad for her. Remember, like early quarantine, everyone was like, she doesn't let us look at her. And we're all like, fuck Ellen DeGeneres.
Different.
Yeah.
Quarantine hit her different.
Yeah, it was a bad year
so
for her.
Ellen is officially gone, which I never thought would happen.
I knew the stuff was bad, but I didn't think she was. I thought she was gonna be like other celebrities sometimes and just brush it off and be like, okay, well,
spin it out.
Haters, who cares? But no, she's canceling the show.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
She announced it, and it's wild to me that she did. I don't really remember why. I'm checking on my phone to see why she canceled it. Because she said it's not a challenge anymore. I highly doubt that.
When was it a challenge?
I highly doubt that.
It was season 20. She was like, "Oh wow, still out here grinding."
Bro, she said, when you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged. And as great as this show is, and as fun as it is, it's just not a challenge anymore.
Nah, bro. No. You don't fuck that check up. You don't fuck that check up for creative.
She's fumbling the bag.
Yeah, that's you don't fuck that check up. I mean, I guess she's kind of like Daniel Radcliffe. You know, she's made her money. She can go do whatever the hell she wants. But like,
that's very true.
I don't know. She might be untouchable right now. I don't like. She's gonna go act like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Going back to SNL. What are you doing here?
I don't know. I'm excited to see what she does and how she bounces back, because obviously everybody loves a comeback story. And if she does end up growing from her apparent tyrannical reign, allegedly, in the Ellen show, we'd love to see it. And then the final L of the week. I would say has to go to the recent news that the Halo series is going to be in Paramount Plus, because that means I'm going to have to buy another streaming service because I'm not missing that shit.
How many does that make? HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount,
Showtime, Stars.
Disney. You have Showtime and Stars? Damn.
Because I get HBO, Showtime, Stars because like no. It's because my parents pay for that on their cable bill. So like you literally just get that. So the ones that I'm paying for are like the bundle for Disney. I do pay for Netflix.
Oh, I'm on my friend's Disney.
And then Hulu. Those are the bit. Well, I get Hulu for Disney. So those two are the ones that I pay. And now I'm gonna start paying for either Crunchyroll. Yeah, for Crunchyroll because I have Funimation because of a friend.
Crunchyroll is the way you got to go. Crunchyroll.
So
Crunchyroll is the only one that's worth it in my mind.
MIZU, baby.
Yep.
Take us home.
Yep.
Winners and losers.
So my winner for the first part was honestly, even though it was still kind of shady in my opinion, is Class 1B, because I just love the energy that
action.
They really saw an opportunity after that
so
whole
about it.
thing went down in that fight, and you're just like, you know what? He's weak. Let's just get him. Let's just go after him.
Yeah. Sometimes
wow.
you just gotta be about it, and they were about it.
Now, yeah, at first I was upset, like, bro, that's just a shitty move that y'all just messed up for that. But then I thought about it, I'm like, I mean, this is a dog-eat-dog world in the hero business, and people are dying, and I'm just like, and plus, they said in the game that you got to look at the other team as heroes or villains.
Exactly.
And they kind of took the villain route and went all in.
Yep. No, that was incredible. I was so happy when that happened. He just rounded that corner. Manoma just rounded that corner, and he was riding the two like bolts, and he was like, "Oh, you're straight. All right, cool. Let's get back into it."
My second winner will have to be Kafka, since we brought up catch number 8, Kafka, because the thing I said way back in one of the episodes, I think it was episode 2 or 3 of our series, I said that some big thing happened to Kafka that I got very worried. But now our boy is straight. He is doing fantastic.
Good to hear.
I love seeing this grown-ass man succeed.
Of course.
Because that means we can succeed, because it's never too late. You don't have to be a 16-year-old boy with some weird power that's unleashed to be successful in life.
You don't have to eat somebody else's hair.
Or that. Or just any weird. It's just, anyway, you guys already know. That just, I'm sick and tired of seeing 16-year-olds.
Never too late to catch your stride.
But my loser will have to agree with Jose. My loser will have to be with Halo, for the fact that it's going to be on a separate streaming service.
Yeah.
That I possibly might have to get in order to watch this. So I think that is something that I'm kind of not looking forward to, especially if it sucks. Holy crap! If this
imagine they rock you into a year-long contract.
If I get this streaming service and the Halo series happens to be bad or just even just like subpar, I'm gonna be so angry.
Imagine you get the streaming service, first episode, he pops off the helmet. You're just like, damn it. What are we even doing here? What are we doing here?
If he does that, I'm gonna say that's not Master Chief. If they do that, I'm gonna be like, that's not Master Chief.
Not
we don't know his Chief. We don't know his real face.
No.
If you show us a face, I'm gonna be upset. That's not how it works.
Yeah. No, that'd be terrible. Well, I mean, I feel like they're gonna throw that's the thing. What does Paramount Plus have right now? Like other
that's
than like
another good question. I was thinking to myself, because kind of like the same thing with Disney Plus. Granted, Disney had some, their classics, but like when it came to new content in a way, it was kind of empty to a point. Until we started getting, WandaVision and all the other stuff coming in.
But because of that, they threw a lot of money at it,
Exactly. Yeah. But for a hot minute, Disney Plus was kind of empty.
Oh yeah.
To a point. So I don't want Paramount to run into the same problem.
After they finished Mandalorian the first season, everyone just was like, what are we doing here? It was like, I'll see you when Mandalorian season 2 comes out, and I think it's the same situation that we're gonna have with Paramount. But that's the thing, like, because that's the only new content they're working on right now, I'm sure they're throwing as much money on it as they could. Like I bet you Cortana is gonna look clean, because there's the thing, like you could make a Halo series and you could make it look so terrible. Like, I can just imagine like the B tier, like kind of like, they like he opens up and like Cortana's like this like kind of like chunky animation that he opens.
Like a CW show.
exactly like a CW. So like, yeah, no, I think it's gonna look clean. I think it's gonna be nice. Because what else do they have? You know, they got a good actor for it, a big guy, and Steven Spielberg, who never misses. So I'm excited. Cool. All right, that's all we got.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you locking in and downloading, hopefully, another week of the Weeb Weekly. Hey, we're loving what we're doing. We're living every day like it's the last one we got, and we are here to provide you with the entertainment on all things video games, anime, cartoons, comics, movies, everything. So if you guys like what you hear, give us a 5-star review so other people who don't know us, like you know us, can be like, interesting. No 4-star reviews? Only 5 stars? Gotta download this. We would appreciate that greatly. I have been NICKCCOMEDY NC Hammer on Twitch and YouTube. Jose, who are you?
I'm Tropical Joe, exactly like that in Instagram and on TikTok finally, because I finally got the username to stick.
There we
and
go.
then the Tropical Joe on everywhere else that you don't see me.
All right, and MIZU.
MIZU Shogun on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
Fantastic. And once again, thank you all for plugging in for another week of the Weeb Weekly. We will see you next week. But until then, bye.